Typically, we are encouraged to be united as a church, as followers of Christ in the Bible. That's what Jesus prayed for. It's kind of a mixed bag when you look back at church history and see how the church has failed at times doing this, and at other times the church has been better at it. I grew up identifying as Pentecostal. I didn't really know what a charismatic was. I didn't come to find out about even like the prosperity gospel until I started to hear Christians that I guess fall into the camp of John MacArthur's kind of Christianity. I mean, a couple of different times, like throughout my journey, college years, I was hearing that phrase, prosperity gospel, and people speaking against, for example, Joel Osteen, Joyce Meyer, and well-known people. And I knew about these people because those were the people that were coming on the TV, which, no one else was coming on TV, like John MacArthur. I didn't see him on TV. I didn't hear those kind of people. I wasn't online. I didn't know about Christian YouTube. Those were the people that I was listening to, and I just thought, man, they're being really overly critical and not giving a good testimony to like non-believers, like showing how we're not, united, and giving a bad name for Christianity. But I wasn't really understanding what the actual criticism was about these people. So one day I became curious and I actually asked someone, and they referred me to a documentary. I think they were the cessationism mostly camp that made this documentary. I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but that's my impression. It's called American Gospel, and there they talked about the prosperity gospel, which is largely what MacArthur criticizes in his book. And so he paints with a broad brush. He pretty much says all Pentecostals, charismatics are like those people, are like the people that are just trying to get a lot of money and teaching false things about how God's going to bless you and do this and that, and if you give money and things like that. They showed videos of people that believe that God still, does miracles, and they didn't paint them in such a great way. I was impacted because I was impressionable. John MacArthur in his book says that a lot of the people that follow these prosperity gospel preachers are very impressionable people. But you could say the same thing about me being impressionable to John MacArthur, for example, or preachers that have similar views as him. And so because of the language and the way things were presented, thinking back now, it's very similar the way it was presented of other believers that are Pentecostal and charismatics. It makes it seem like you must come to this side of the debate. You must follow these Bible teachers if you really want to know what is biblical. To me, they're talking about how Jesus is at the center of, the Bible, and how many preachers in the prosperity gospel, they just make the Bible stories about them, and there was no information about Pentecostal charismatic Bible teachers that actually teach the same thing as they were in the documentary. There was no Dr. Brown, for example. I was not aware that there was a charismatic alternative to the prosperity gospel, pretty much. It has the potential, and it did to me, to bring a charismatic Pentecostal person with proper views but misunderstanding why the prosperity gospel is not biblical. Pretty much it throws the baby out with the bathwater. So instead of saying, hey, charismatics, you can stay on that side of the debate, but throw away the the bathwater, which is the prosperity gospel. It subtly was telling me, hey, come to our side of the debate, come to our side, our views of Christianity, because there's nothing good on that side.